Hello, fellow patriots. Strawmen have been put up so cowards can knock them down. That's right. I'm talking about you liberals and you progressives out there who think that you honestly can argue or rebut any of my videos with your ridiculous responses, with your ridiculous attacks, ad hominem, straw men, red herrings, whatever. All of it are fallacious arguments. They're all false arguments. You're not using rational arguing techniques. You're not talking about the actual subjects that I was talking about. You're making up subjects and saying that that's what I'm talking about. For example, talking about me just wanting to willy-nilly kill people. Oh yeah, I want to kill people. I don't want to kill people. Never have said that I want to kill people. Matter of fact, the last thing that I want to do is kill another human being. To protect my family, to protect my life, to protect my neighborhood, I will. But only in self-defense. In a without the rule of law scenario, self-defense broadens in its definition. We no longer have a court system to go to if somebody is coming after you. We no longer have police or sheriffs to go to if somebody or a group of somebodies is coming after you. You can't take stupid chances. You can't say to yourself, well, somebody, if I call the police or call 911, they'll come and get this group of people that are, casing out my neighborhood. Even now, in a rule of law scenario, I have had to call the police on people casing out the neighborhood. People who don't belong here. They're not from here. I've called the police, and lo and behold, it turned out, yeah, they were casing the neighborhood. One time that I called the police, turned out the guys had already broken into a couple cars. They had a bunch of stuff on them. They were thieves. In a without the rule of law scenario, thieves and brigands will be shot on sight, will be killed. They will be given no quarter. Now, how do we know if they're thieves and brigands? Well, in a rule of law scenario, you call the police and the police come and investigate. In a without the rule of law scenario, nothing outside of your little circle is safe. And only after a bit of negotiation or a bit of understanding of that person you don't know, could you even begin to trust enough to bring them into your inner circle or to allow them into your encampment. In a without the rule of law scenario, things get pretty scary because outside of your encampment, outside of your group, everything and anything can be deadly. All it takes is one guy coming in with a gun, shooting down the strong guys first, so that he can come take what you've got. All it takes is a scout coming and looking at your perimeter, checking out, seeing where the strong points are, going back and reporting to the gang or whoever it is, a warlord or whatever. We can't take these chances in a without the rule of law scenario. Because in a rule of law scenario, if you see the strangers casing out your neighborhood, you can call the police and they can come investigate. In a without the rule of, and the police are widespread throughout the whole nation, in the state, in the city, in the county, in every other adjacent state. But in a without the rule of law scenario, you don't have that. They can go 2 counties away, and there's no way you're not going to go chase them down. In a without the rule of law scenario, it becomes a bunch of small city-states. Walled cities will come back into fashion. Travel will be deadly. Caravans will happen again because traveling alone will be dangerous. When I say that we'll have to kill people that are strangers, I'm not just saying we're going to kill people willy-nilly, but we're going to know who we're looking for. And if we do see these people that we know or that we suppose are, gang scouts, and you got a bunch of women and children who are relying on you to protect them, do you let the gang scout live? What if he's not? Oh well, it's sad. But if he is, and you let him live, and he then takes the information that he's gained back to the gang, and they come and they overwhelm you because they now know all these things about you, about your strong points, then you've just given your wife, your daughter, the people that depend on you, you give them to the wolves. Liberals, you can't seem to argue any points that I make without putting up a straw man, which is putting up a false argument, putting up something that I did not say, and then knocking it down and claiming that I'm some sort of idiot or extremist because I made this claim, which I didn't. I'm talking about realities that are coming, whether you like it or not. Realities that are coming that are scary as hell. I would love it if my daughter could grow up in a world that I grew up in when I was a kid. And in a way, she is. Children are innocent. But the problem is that she's going to grow into a world that is far deadlier, that is far less hospitable than the one that I grew into. You, liberals, you're the ones making the choice to push us off the edge. You're forcing this all on us because you won't admit that your policies enslave people. You won't admit it. Slavery was made illegal, but you want to enslave us. You want to enslave us. And all of your politicians, whether they be the GOP politicians or the Democrat politicians, most of them are progressive. And these people can't be trusted because what are they doing? They're growing the size of government. They're taking over more of our lives and telling us more and more what we can and cannot do with our own property. It's you, and it's your fault. When the shit hits the fan, when the without rule of law scenario comes to fruition, it is going to be on your heads. So when you wake up in the morning and you look yourself in the mirror, you can tell yourself, what's coming? That's my fault. And you can believe it, because if people like me had our way, we'd have a very small government, very free trade, and a nation of free, liberty-minded people. You can take your straw man, you can take your red herring fallacies, and you can fuck the hell off.